Today I'm breaking down one of the core elements of UK Garage, which is the Reese bass. They come in all sort of varieties, but one thing is sure, there are not many UK Garage tracks that do not have some kind of Reese bass in it. That's why today I'm going to show you how to make your own unique UK Garage Reese basses in Serum 2. I will start with the bass principle of the sound and how it's shaped, and from there I will just go and mess around with the sound design myself to show you how you can make the Reese basses actually more unique. If you are making UK Garage and you are looking for some new fresh sounds, make sure to head over to the link in the description or click over here, because we just released Overdrive, which is our new UK Garage sample pack, which contains presets, project files, samples and much more. Without further ado, let's now dive into the video. So I will start out with just the standard UK Garage Reese bass, and for that you are either using a sine wave or a triangle wave. So let's just open up a triangle wave right here, and for oscillator A I will just keep it on one voice of unison, as this really needs to be the stable sub body of your sound. Pitch it down one octave in this case, turn on mono legato so the glide note is also sounding nice, and then you will have a really simple subby triangle. So already turn the width to 0, since this will be just the low end. Turn on filter 1 and link oscillator A through it. Can give it already a bit of drive. So just a stable, really straightforward sub response. And to really get that UK Garage kind of vibe, you now want to layer it with a more harmonic overtone. So in this case, we're going to use the same shape, give it 2 voices of unison. And then you will already kind of hear that the UK Garage kind of characteristic is coming out a little bit. Then we pitch up the semitones to 7, which creates the perfect 5th sound. And what I like about the new Serum is that we have 2 filters to work with. We now have a little bit more control on how much we want to filter oscillator A, and then if we link oscillator B through another filter, we have separate control, which just allows you to kind of tweak it a little bit more the way you want. For example, give it some resonance, play around with the drive. So let me just demonstrate that. So right now it's not filtered, then let's link it through filter 2. Let's just mute oscillator A for a bit, and then we want to increase the resonance on oscillator B, which introduce some more like resonant harmonics. And now that we have 2 separate filters, we can also play around with like modulation on just the higher sound of the bass. And approaching it like this, while using the exact same wavetables, already gives you so much more room to play around with LFOs, with resonance, with different filter settings. So let's also add a vibrato to the top sound. Something like this I think could work. We can also add some noise, for example the Juno 106 chorus noise, which you then, for example, want to route through the same filter as oscillator B. Bring it down so it's just really subtly. You can also play around with the volumes of both oscillators to kind of get the balance in the sound that you like. Because in this case, once you have the bass sound, it all comes down to personal preference and what you want to achieve in your track basically. And then also depending on the track, you can add a sub oscillator as well. Sometimes a track just needs a little bit more sub in the bass, and sometimes it doesn't. When like a kick is already really big and long, you can sometimes get away with leaving that out. So let's turn on a sidechain on the sound and then see how it would sound in. It's sounding a little bit weak still. So for that, we can definitely use some more effects. For these kind of basses, you can add a wide variety depending on the sound you want to achieve. If you take, for example, a diode distortion, you really crush the sound, and this could actually be something you're looking for. So diode 2 distortion with some pre-filtering. Another example could be in bit crush, kind of enhancing the resonance and the harmonics of oscillator B, which could be nice if you miss a little bit of high end. And a bit crush you can even combine with another distortion really well. As you can see, still a lot of the character of the sound is in these filters right here. Let's add a compressor, do a quick if you want to add some more movement, you can set another LFO to, for example, 1 bar and let it really subtly control the cutoff of filter 2. Another thing that I forgot about is that you can also lower the width a little bit of oscillator B, because that gives you a bit more of that analog touch to the sound. And also you can drag down the random phase right here for a bit more stability in the sound. What I really like about these kind of basses is that we could have stopped at just these two elements, add one filter, a little bit of drive. It works, but it also just gives you a lot of room to apply different LFOs, to play around with certain effects, which is something I really enjoy when doing sound design for this. This is another trick. So first you filter to get rid of that really top grittiness of the distortion. Like this, you just kind of create a little bit more movement in the high end. It kind of already shows you that you can do so much in the sound design of this, that it's also just really a matter of trying out stuff, personal preference. And I think this already shows you that with like the most simple wavetable combination and some nice tricks on the filters and effects, you can get really pretty far. Let's see what it sounds like if we place it with a sine. Gets a bit less harmonics, but if you want it to be a little bit more subby, it could work as well. I would just probably play around a little bit more with this. And probably not destroy it as hard, but just put compressor on it. So that's it for the first bass. I already kind of explained the whole principle behind it. We can also do it with the more classic Reese sound that you hear across all kind of genres, which would be a saw wave at first. In this case I use the basic mini one and then heavily filter it. Lower the width a little bit. Add again some mono legato. So then you add like 8 voices of unison. This kind of just gives it a little bit more of that saw harmonics. And what's cool for something like this is to layer it with an harmonic overtone. And for that you can smartly choose your wavetables, such as this one. And I think I would route it through another filter right here again. So let's change the fine tune of both a little bit. And this again gives you that kind of harmonic overtone that really defines sound. And if you think it's a little bit too much, you can just lower it down a little bit. If you feel like it needs more sub, you can simply add it here as a stable signal. I think this could work if we turn the sub to direct output so it's not affected by the mix, and then we could try make it a little bit more wider or something, either with a hyper dimension or a chorus. So in this video I tried to experiment a little bit, go a little bit beyond just the basic explanation of like, yeah, you do this and you're done. Kind of show you a bit how the creative process looks like. If you guys like sound design videos in this approach, where I kind of see it from a little bit more of a creative perspective, then please let me know in the comments. Also, as I said already in the beginning of this video, if you're searching for UK garage sounds, head over to the link in the description where you will find all the information about our pack Overdrive. And for now, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I see you guys in the next video.